Before we get to our discussion, we've just confirmed here on eNCA that Kebima Patswe, who was the president of the MKMVA, has sadly passed on this afternoon. Condolences. I know you have been comrades as the SACP, being in alliance with the ANC. Any reflections on his life?
Thank you very much, Clement. Firstly, to express our sincere condolences to the Mapaila family, to his comrades in MKMVA and the ANC and the rest of the alliance and the MTM formations. It's a great and sad loss for our movement that we lost to Comrade Kebi. We were related with the MK as well because we are co-founders of MK SACP together with the ANC. Personally, I was with him in the MK camp and we were comrades for quite a long time. He was a man of robust engagement. We had a strong belief in the policies of the ANC. And I think it's a great loss to our movement. And we really express our sincere condolences to the family of Comrade Kebi.
Yeah, no, condolences to you guys as the SACP and as the ANC as well, having been comrades with him. Let's speak about why we invited you on the show this afternoon. These attacks against SACP leaders, do you believe that you are under attack, your leaders are under attack, and why do you believe so?
Well, it's not a belief, it's the reality that we have been attacked over the last couple of weeks and months, collectively, individually, and we really think that this can lead to a sense of a coordinated attack on the leadership of the SACP. Myself, for instance, I was attacked at my house by gunmen. Comrade Blade was also attacked. He wasn't at the home at the time when the attack took place, but his place was ransacked. Comrade Joyce Moroba was also attacked. Our national treasurer was also attacked. Comrade Alex Mashilo was attacked twice, and our national organizer, Comrade Mhlekwa, in fact, Comrade Mhlekwa was attacked the day after my attack. So it's quite clear that there has been a coordinated process, particularly when you look at what has been taken when the robberies take place. But I think we have left the matter in the hands of the police to make sure that they are able to investigate, and we're also taking other proactive measures because sometimes the police take too long, and unfortunately it's unacceptable, the behavior as well. Even how they conduct this investigation, sometimes we can blame them for dragging their feet. But nonetheless, we do know that they are doing investigation. We can't tell them what to do in terms of the nitty-gritties. They know the systems and the processes. But I think there are quite a number of loopholes, and we are also worried about the posture they are taking to these matters. They take too long. I think that's the bottom line, and it's unacceptable. We should express that quite clearly. It's a traumatic process. We don't wish it to anybody, but we really believe that this matter must be dealt with as soon as possible. At the same time, we don't think that the SACP can be shut up by this kind of attacks. SACP is a big body. Its ideas are eternal and shall remain. Whether individual members have been targeted or attacked or eliminated, but there's no way in which our ideas can be subverted or muted because of how people decide to literally target the leadership of the Communist Party. That we will never accept to happen. It has failed over the last century of our existence. We have been the enemies of those who do not want to appreciate or share our ideas.
Yeah. So what are these proactive measures that you have taken? You have expressed your unhappiness with you think is the approach of the police. So the proactive measures that you have taken, what are they? And who do you think is behind these attacks?
Well, look, in one instance, for instance, they took gadgets, and in one instance they didn't find gadgets, and they came back again, like in the instance of Comrade Alex, when they missed to get the gadgets, because the first time they attacked the family, he was in home. They ransacked the house. They tied up family members. But he wasn't home at the time with his laptop and iPad. And they came back for that when they hit him for the second time, at the time when we was busy trying to beef up the system there. So this is the kind of a thing, and also the gadgets in the manner that they targeted my gadgets specifically. You could see a determined approach on the one hand to have a criminal element that is the entry point to the process, but the picking up of gadgets from one place to the other, including memory sticks, USBs, and so forth, which really petty criminals, normal criminals that comes in this instance, wouldn't really take them. And also given where they were. And you could see there was a dedicated process in that space. The measures that were taken, obviously, are internal to guarantee or to ensure that at least some safety is there for some of the leaders. But obviously, these are details that we can't discuss in public now.
Okay. I want to get your thoughts before we wrap up on the financial position of the ANC right now, them being unable to pay salaries for their staff members. The party seems to be broke. Are you helping them as this SACP? They're your alliance partner.
We helped the ANC and paid for their salaries some years ago or decades ago as the SACP, in fact, the entire liberation movement, when we were well off. We're not well off than them now, but we are literally in solidarity with the ANC. We believe that the situation that has befell the ANC shouldn't befell any other party. It's quite difficult. Ourselves are in the same situation, by the way. We're not in a better state than the ANC, where we're just surviving. But we believe that is also affecting all other political parties, except those that are funded by big capital, who may not actually be having these problems. And we also believe that this legislation on party political funding was very important, which we also pioneered as the SACP. It's important for our democracy in the long term, because without which has affected even how we fundraise, let alone the fact that as this legislation sets in, we are now in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, massive restrictions. The manner in which we fundraise is difficult and different from other organizations, perhaps. So that legislation prevents any other person who can come and buy our democracy. So that's why it's important. So we have to go through this period to understand this legislation, but also to make sure that we can protect the interest of the people of our country. We share solidarity with the ANC, but we think they will overcome these challenges.
Yeah, the implications may possibly be dire, Mr. Mapaila. I mean, I'm thinking about how expensive election campaigns are. If they're unable to pay salaries for staff, how are they going to be able to run a successful election campaign if we actually hold elections in October?
We will certainly run elections as a movement. Of course, it may not be the way it was in the past. Certain things cannot be done under these conditions, but we'll certainly try and run a mass-grounded campaign. We in the Communist Party, for instance, have always run a mass-grounded campaign, quite different, not spending too much resources onto it, but really running an effective campaign. We think that we can share some lessons with the ANC in that regard. But certainly, we will run elections and we will be successful in the campaign.